assume that AU, which correlates 100% against the US dollars, the strongest correlation out of anything, AUD will move opposite of DXY. I have to expect that this is going to come up. So look, we have a lot of imbalance here. Now, I'll be honest, I was out and about. I'm already in a buy. I'm just in heavy drawdown right now. But we need to see this start coming up, and it needs to come up to here to retest to then start falling again. As the DXY goes up, this is going to start coming down. Now, when things start changing, right? So we talk about market cycles. There's two ways that it can go when we have negative GDP and a positive unemployment. We have positive GDP, positive employment change, or we have negative GDP, negative employment change coming up. I will tell you it's going to be the second, because GDP to make up back into a positive is going to take so much it's not even funny, right? So we can expect negative GDP to stay around for a little while, but because of that, people are going to start being laid off. Ford laid off 3,000 people last week. Wayfair laid off 1,000 people the week before, and Walmart is laying off hundreds of people right now. It's layoff season, guys, because they can't afford, with the GDP being that low, they can't afford to keep employment going on. So we could start seeing this actually pull back to the point to where it'll come down and then start skyrocketing, even though we're expecting USD to go up. If we see negative GDP and a negative job market, we're going to start seeing a crash down because our dollar will lose all value. That's the only way it's going to push down. And that's what we're headed towards. And the reason why I'm saying the move up is because when you look on a higher time frame on AU, what do we have? We have a massive inverted head and shoulders. Whenever my screen decides it wants to load, there we go. Inverted head and shoulders on the monthly. We can see it, it's clear, and the movement literally says, that's my entry point for it. To come all the way up to retest supports that weren't, look, almost 3,000 pips. Look, I have my alert set right here on this line right here. It already crossed right now, which is why I'm buying, because I'm ready for this to start going up. Everything is going to start happening. It's going to be quickly too. So be prepared, guys.
All right, dude. Excellent information. I was over here taking notes the whole time. I appreciate this.
Hey, no doubt. I'll drop that list though into Discord so people can start watching for it.
Most definitely. I was watching. I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere, but they were mentioning basically about how November time frame after times like this over the years, and it's based on basically the routine of what happens every 10 to 12 years with this type of situation. And for some reason, second quarter after something like this, or second year after this, after something like COVID or something, the second year after a pandemic, in the fourth quarter, you'll see market reverse after something major. There's something analytically wise that they've noticed over the last probably like 80 plus years. So I wouldn't, what you're saying makes perfect sense as far as this coming into that time for the market to correct in that fashion. Now, I have worries personally with US 30 kicking this weekly strong cross, this evening star we're seeing now on how we closed out the week. So I personally, just off that rip alone, if it doesn't decide to go bearish now to meet what I'm intending to call possible reversal areas here, and I was looking at earlier, I believe on the daily time frame. Let's see here. Okay, so we're meeting some imbalances off rip. That's the daily. Check it 4 hours. There's a very immediate one I've been looking at. That kind of got filled. So definitely this one down here. So on this daily time frame, here we go. All right, so I can see Down here, I'm expecting if the market decides to come this far down, this was unchecked. Now I'm still working on what Mike just showed me on using the fair value. So I don't have mine up yet. I'm gonna be messing with that this week and come back. But it points out these areas already. So if we could see, even just based on what you're talking about, if we can see early on in the beginning, the market come down to reach a location and call a reversal here, which I'd like to see it come down in this fashion before going up. But if not, with the retracement of the weekly candle, and if the DXY pulls back first before going up, I personally want to see this come up off rip, meet this area and drop, or otherwise continue to break through, retrace and rise. Personally, I don't like to get, and Mike, you may know this by now, I don't like to get comfortable in one direction, just in case. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. Whenever I teach to view the market in two different ways.
Right.
The one thing that I can say is with this, which is going to be kind of interesting because you want it to come up at least to that 50 zone.
Mm-hmm.
That daily candle needs what? It needs one of two things. In fact, it needs both right now, and that's wicks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. So in this case, we could probably start seeing the wick being formed through New York session for it to possibly kind of drop throughout the second half of it and create what would be small, like a small doji to do a 3 bullish soldiers on the way up to your 50, where it's all wicks except for 3 candles, and then it drops again next week.
Yes, sir. And that's across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be surprised. I mean, as you see, I've already got Nas prepared for that type of movement. German 30, we'll see. I haven't really even moved this chart since it's been like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't messed with that chart in a while.
Oh, hey, Tate, what's going on? And it's done exactly as it's supposed to. And Tay made a great call on this after these met their trend lines. Bitcoin, we're bearish on. It was a beautiful
13K.
What's that?
13K, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, I already got about that area lined up now. So maybe a retrace, possibly. I'm like they've been following indexes like we've noticed since last year. Nothing new there. So if I could just get that retrace to fill this daily imbalance here after we got the bearish flag situation and continuation, probably to here, we'll see that continue to do as usual. So nothing too hard there. It's going to be the same play off of Ethereum. You see, I've already got that mark ready to go. Other than that, Tay, I'll go ahead and let you hit gold off. I do want to take a look at GJ.
Hey, Zay, real quick.
Talk to me.
Go to ETH USD, but go to the Kraken chart.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. There we go.
And then go, I think it's on the weekly. Here's your dead giveaway as far as why it's going to continue to go down. Look to the left. What do you see? That big ass liquidity wick.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, the Kraken chart follows like how the new Black Bull ones follow every time frame on indices. The Kraken one follows Ethereum very, very well compared to MT4. If you guys notice, if you're ever using Owanda, which is something I suggested a long time ago, using Owanda for every chart, if you use Owanda on the indices, you're going to see that the 4 hours always off. So if you use the Black Bull version, you can actually get a more accurate reading for it. The only problem is Black Bull's only been around for a little over a year, so there's not a lot of history. So that's why if you looked at my screen, I had 2 US 30s, 2 NASDAQ, and 2 SPX. The reason for that is because I'll use Black Bull for the current moves, but if I need to mark up for historical reasons, I'll go use the others.
Yep. And we'll see that here. The history cuts off in 2020. So,
yep.
We get a lot more with Owanda. But yeah, he's correct. Like you always notice, I've always had to remark up on MT4 a lot of times just to, get those spot on entries that we all like to get. So like I said, let's go look at GJ. I'm in and out of keeping this around. So we've got this beautiful retest. We did catch the buy up to the big resistance level I have there. Take a look at the weekly.
That's beautiful. I caught that same buy last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Thursday. It was Thursday night, man. Thursday night. It was beautiful.
You could not take it. You could not take it.
That shit was just do.
Man, weekly's ugly. We've been in this consolidation for a while. I mean, you're playing into this bullish flag game here in the overall that I've been looking at. But we'll have to see when it decides to really give us a break. And I know I normally say, don't cut wicks, but in this case, it's just the most hits to me that matter.
Have you ever looked at the JXY?
I have not.
All right. So real quick, if you do use that or take a look at it, so there's an inverted head and shoulders that are ready to start going up. If you
right
look
here,
on the daily
right?
right?
Yeah.
The JXY right now, the Japanese yen is at its all-time, I'm talking in history, all-time low.
I'm gonna have you bring that up. I'd love to take a look at that.
Well, it's weird. They're not having they're trying what they're trying to do is they sold off a lot of their bonds, this, that, and the other, because they want to avoid any crashes on their side. Right. So they're killing their currency, which is exactly what they did over the past maybe 2.5 months or so, 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's just been a massive, massive drop. And it pulled back recently, which is why we're seeing the drop on GJ on higher time frames right now. But it was literally just a pullback. So as they keep killing their currency, we're going to start seeing GJ start taking off big time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm expecting. I mean, we had talked about long ago the bullish moves it was already making, giant double bottom situation. We got the break and retest. We're sitting on, we had the neckline hit. I mean, even if it was the drop at most, we may re-meet the trend line, but with the flag, I'm just expecting us to come out top, hold the support that we have right now that's already wicking out constantly.
Yep.
So I do want to see this break topside and give us that retest of the giant structure we caught the buy on the first time.
Yep.
Retest and continuation. So that's all I have there. Went over the crypto. Tay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the floor to you. And then Mike, if you can bring us in on that, on the Japan. And then Strauss, leave GA. Strauss wants to hit off GA as we get into this week because he's mainly focused on that right now.
Yeah, bet.
All right. Show is yours, Tay.
All right, so it's Sunday, like I say every week. So I don't take any trades. I'm looking at the weekly of what we saw last week. Some of the things that we liked, some of the things we didn't like, some of the trades we took that we enjoyed, some of the trades we didn't take. Just like I told you before, my charts all over the place. There's new faces in here today. So I actually tell you guys what I'm looking at. So gold last week we had in a sale for a couple of days, gave you a pullback back to a level of structure that you can see here. Pretty strong level of structure on a daily. I've been looking at everything on a daily because I'm taking a lot of long-term trades these days. So we saw that. I marked this zone because this will be my area. If it broke through here, then we knew it would still be a sell. If it shorted it here on this last candle and decided to come back up, then we know that it was still making highs and it might reverse up and made higher highs and we would have got the trade. But since it blew past here on this candle that we're looking at right now, as long as this candle doesn't close, as long as this candle closes below this previous level here of this low high, then we should be fine. And if it continue to be a sell all the way down to this level that we looked at, we marked up at 1679, 113 or 1679. It's been here a bunch of times. Like this is a known zone that we've been playing with. We've been making money in since 2021. So we've been making a lot of money off of this trade here for a while. Nothing too special about it. Gold has just been Mr. Reliable. So as long as you guys can see what you need to, if you haven't gotten a level or gotten into If you haven't found your entry yet for gold, you'll find it. It's not gonna be today. It's not gonna be today. You're not gonna find your sell in today. The best time we would have got it would have been that pullback day that we saw here when it first happened. That pullback, it gave you your entry probably into this zone. But outside of that, or when it came up to here, would have been your sell entry when we first marked it up originally. But you're not gonna get a spot into gold right now. So if you don't have it, you might be pushing yourself into some kind of debt. It's not a good look to buy right now. I mean, to sell it right now. Things we've been talking about, same thing. Obviously, we've been saying for a while that indices have been coming down. We called it at that channel. We said that was sitting in a level of a channel that's going to get to this zone here, and it's going to reverse out of here, which is exactly what it did. It's giving you some kind of potentially a head and shoulder pattern on here, but it's not. It hasn't formed it yet. Or it's not going to give you the neckline retrace yet. So we'll continue to watch it, but we're still in the sell for SPX 500, and the same thing is going to be for US 30. Where's US 30 at? Where are you at? There you are. So US 30 is giving the same kind of looks. We've been doing pretty well in these companies, eh?
Hey, bro, they've been killing every week, doing exactly
Hey.
as intended.
Yeah, so
You can't miss.
we're just looking at over. All I'm really doing when I look at these is been looking at higher time frames because we're already in the trade. So the higher time frames told us, hey, this is selling. This weekly here it said, hey, look at this. There's no wick here. Like if you think this is coming up this week, if it does, it's gonna retrace, but it's gonna give you it's gonna go negative next week. So I'm saying that now. I'll put a text message on box here, like remind me again in a week when we talk about it again. But this is gonna be a sell. Like this is gonna be a sell.
Mm-hmm.
So after, we'll probably even say it's after the retrace. Retrace to
Yeah, we're coming
50%.
in NFP week, so that's just gonna play.
Sell after NFP, so second half of Friday.
Yeah. Second half of Friday. But I'm saying, like, we already said we're not gonna get an entry. Like, you're not getting an entry into US 30 right now. Like, this is just dropping. Like, you don't know when it's gonna pull back and retrace in this US 30. So if you're looking for your entry, you gotta wait for the pullback. If you're trying to get in this early, you're gonna lose money. Like, leave it alone. You feel like you Mr. Superman, you're not. Like, leave it alone.
Go back to that time frame you were just looking at. What was it, the 4 hour?
Yeah, the 4 hour.
Was it the 4 hour? Yeah,
It might be that. It's the hour.
There it goes. There it goes. So look at the hour though. Hold on, I'm gonna mark something on here real quick. Right here. What level's that at?
Yeah, it's about to retrace back up.
So yeah, the only thing that you should be looking for right now, which is considered as a counter trend trade, which is dangerous, are buys. If you're looking at sells, wait till next week.
Yeah, this is not a week for you to get into this trade, but we are overarching in for a sell. This is gonna retrace this week, but I think it's gonna come back down. It's gonna come back to this, probably come back to 32,580, this area here that we originally had marked up, this zone here, and then it's gonna come back down. And it's gonna probably potentially end the week either where it's at right now or sometime a little bit in the green. It's not gonna be anything like crazy. We had to look at some candles that US 30 has formed for us in the past. Here's one right here that came over down, gave no wick. This one came up green for 2 days and then dropped again. This is another candle right here. So this is three times in the last year that it gave you a full solid candle, giving you the potential that's going to drop it and then reverse out of there. So this is probably going to be a reversal candle, a big chance of it. So watch out for that stuff. Literally, it's happened. I just caught one. Where's another one at here? That's not a good one here. 2. That's not a good one. 3. Three candles that gave reversal patterns at, but it wasn't at the RSI level that we saw for that hour. So we had to look at that at a different time frame. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. So we've been having to sell. We've been selling this off since when? The 16th of August, for almost 2 weeks now. I've been calling it sell for 2 weeks now. Gave you a retrace into an entry to get into it, and it's still a sell. But right now it's about to retrace again. So if you want to look for your entry, it's gonna be coming up this week. What's some other stuff? Euro USD is at this level. It's been at this level for a minute. It's just hanging here. Like we said before last week, it's at all-time low right now. So it hasn't been here before. So the question is that we're trying to find this buy, and where we're gonna find it at. It keeps throwing these wicks out here on this on a daily. and it's at a low right now. So it's about to eventually reverse out of here on this RSI. So if they come back down to here, I'm telling you, I would probably take this buy. But this is probably a risky trade here, but not really too risky. If it comes back down to 0.99, 0.9900, or just 0.99 period, I would probably take this buy and just count it. It's not gonna go too much lower. This is where it's come a couple of times, or the one time. This is the lowest it's come to. So if you see it come here, you can take the buy, or you can wait for it to break out of here and then retest it, and then take the buy. So it's gonna have to come out of here and retest it. So that's what you're looking for. So you have your two. You take the buy here. You take the buy here, or you wait for the retrace. So you wait for the retrace, and then you take the buy. So either one. Try and keep that away from each other. I gotta remember that later. I keep pretending to look at this. USD JPY. I've had this marked up for a while, coming back to this level. I told you last week there was was it last week or the week before? The week before we told you it was consolidating, that it was finally gonna break out this zone. And when it break out this zone, it's gonna come to this high again and reverse out of there, which is exactly what it's doing. So if you bought it, you made some money. If you didn't buy it, you didn't make no money. But
you can't ask for a better double bottom either.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better. These are just things I'm marking up. I've been marking up for the last couple of weeks. It's very simple stuff we're looking at here. Nothing too hard. So we're waiting for it to come to this level here, and then once it comes to this level, it'll bounce out of there and give us our sell. I sell off like we've been marked up. Boom, come up here, give us our double top, and then we'll leave it out of there and call it a day. So pretty simple trade. A lot of these are pretty simple. So all of these we're looking at, making sure we're marked up on for the week. We're still in the same agreement. Yep, I called a buy for here until it comes to this point to sell. Yep, it's coming to this point now. It's gonna get to there probably this week and then probably sell off. So we're looking for an entry. 139.388 is the entry point we need to sell this off. Because once it comes back to this high, it's gonna slow down. So we'll watch those candles as it get closer to it. But as you can see, this is just way too much. RSI is pushing the roof right now. So it might slow down now and then build something later and then finally reach up here. But
that's why I'm bearish on the DXY right now, because it's so overextended on so many pairs. It's not even funny.
Hey, when you start giving the people money for college, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Oh, same thing I said for we look at all the good trades we did. Let's look at the bad trades we did. So GA, we called this buy. It lost it. So we're not. It's gonna still do this fucking buy, but not within our zone. We're not looking at it anymore. It's about that bounce back out of here and come back up, but it's playing around here. We called this buy when it was here at this level. It broke to this level. It's just been playing here. It's making new lower highs. So it's the third lower high is made. So whatever happens in this zone, we'll probably wait for the buy again. But currently we're out of this trade, so we got a loss. But
there's hella divergence on there too.
Correct. Well, like I said, it was a while ago we had made this trade. I call this trade out. What is this?
Yeah, I'll talk about that one a little bit.
Yeah, 22nd of July. I called this out like a while ago. So this is almost a month ago. We looked at this and we're like, oh, this is about to look like a buy. And yeah, it was pretty strong. But hey, I could say it into the trades. Like, yeah, the stop loss, I'm keeping it to the stop loss like I always do. And it broke through it. But I can see it was forming the lower highs. I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. But hey, same thing we talked about last week. But all the trades we were looking at for the week, also we're looking for, everything worked out pretty well except for GA. Everything's looking pretty good for this week coming up. If you have any questions, let me know. But stuff that we see over the week, I'm looking at same positions for a lot of different things. There's gonna be a lot of pullbacks this week. So a lot of pullbacks this week. Take your money. If you up, take your money. Take your money and run. If you down, pray to God.
Yeah, any trades I enter this week, I am not holding after this week.
oh yeah.
I'm day trading this week. I'm not trying to hold for any long term. That'll be on either Friday or next week.
By Friday, I'm trying to be out of there.
Yeah, this is not a long trade. So I'm a long term trader now. So this is not my week. So I look at this and like, this ain't a week for me. All right, I'm gonna close my positions and I'm gonna take me a break.
Sense.
I'll take me a break and I'm gonna come back in here after things look better. Oh, okay. Next week we'll look at this again on Monday. On next Sunday, and we'll be like, all right, things already gave us our pullbacks we look for. Perfect. I got my entries now for the week. Where we're gonna go to. This is what happened on these days, and the same thing will happen about next week. We'll talk about it on next Sunday. Hey, give us our pullbacks like we called it. We're in the money
Beautiful.
Yes,
but
sir.
GA hates me. No, GA's looking good right now. It's looking good now, but I'm saying like when we looked at this up a month ago, I was like, oh, this shit about to fucking reverse, and then started doing it, and that thing said nope. I was like, all right.
Because of that channel has been trapped in.
Strauss.
Yeah, the channel didn't like.
Yeah.
You saw
Let
the
me share real
channel,
quick.
so yeah, I saw the channel, but I was like, this is consolidation here. So I called this consolidation, and like I was like, oh, this is just consolidating here. This is about to fucking bounce out of here to give you your action before the end result, which is will be that drop. So I was trying to catch it going up before it was going to drop. Like that's what I was expecting. Hey, I got this
So-
drop, consolidation, shoot up, and then drop out of here, give you your actual position that you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was good at
Well,
buying when it kept hitting the bottom, but when it didn't make it all the way back to the top, when it made that lower high, we dropped out the bottom of the channel.
Oh,
Do you
I'm telling you
guys
right now.
use SAD?
Use what?
Do you guys use SAD?
Sad.
Symmetrical. Was it symmetrical ascending and descending triangles?
Not off the top of my head.
Nah,
anymore.
but I recognize the triangle out of there.
Yeah.
Right here, right there. See, it was pressing the whole way down. In this case, you would have never been. You should have never been buying unless it was to a trend line that started here and came all the way down. Right. That's the only way you should have been buying.
Oh
because
yeah.
this was not break. This was keeping hold, so it was going to end up breaking down.
Oh, of course. I'm saying, hey,
Yeah.
players mess up. Let's be honest here. Like once it broke out of this area, these wicks.
Why y'all ain't help me when the fat jumped on me?
Nah, hey, that's how you feel about it. But you know, I called this buy, and I still with the buy because this is what I called. So
it's all
I
good. The
saw.
most important thing is you stuck with your trade.
Yeah, I'm taking my trade. Obviously, we can say we gonna go back and forth to be like, oh yeah, this is what I would have did. Like, but on the 21st of July, when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is consolidating. This is about to bounce out of here, or come back up to this level again, or come back here. Now I'm seeing this. We can see this a triangle that's gonna break down the bottom. Obviously, I'm like, okay, it's giving me exactly what we're looking for now. But when we took the trade,
it's all hindsight's 20. It's always 2020. Hindsight's always 20.
Well, let me share right quick. I'll show you what I did with it.
Yeah, hit a TDA for us, bro.
They were calling me trash and shit.
I'm not calling you trash. Nobody calling you trash.
I have
bro.
5 good trades and 1 bad one. Y'all want to?
Nobody said anything.
Killing the game, man. If you're able to consistently trade on a high time frame like that and not have to look at the hour, you're doing amazing, bro.
I appreciate it.
So, like Tay was just talking about, it was trapped in this little channel right here from fucking March. I mean, way back we've been trapped in this channel. So as we continue to fall back down, I've been waiting on it to drop out of it. I've been killing it as far as hitting up here on this level, dropping back down to there, and it's been doing it nonstop. But once it made this happen, once this lower high happened, I've been watching it to figure out if it was just going to double bottom and completely break out to the upside, or we're going to break the channel and then come back in. Soon as it broke it, 50'd it up, came back to the 50. We had that we had a nice little double top right there in between the 50 and the 618, dropped right up out of there. Now we dropped all the way back down. We got a double bottom right here. I'm waiting to see if it's going to come back out. We got a few divergence on it. So it popped back up. If you caught this divergence right here, pop back up right to its support level where it needed to retest. And then me and Zay was talking about it earlier. We got this hidden divergence that's right on here for the continuation. So
yeah, that looks good.
I'm thinking we about to fall out the bottom and continue to go.
Oh yeah, this ain't going up. Like that's why I was like, oh, that trade's done. That's a wrap because it's like it's gonna have to do a pullback again to come back to that same level it was at before. That one line that you already have on there. But once it pulls back again, it's gone. Like it's gonna keep going down. Like because it has that build on that RSI, so it's gotta come up a little bit.
Yeah.
But once it comes
I'm
up,
in an AU buy right now, so GA got to come down.
Yeah, GA's coming down. It's gonna pull back soon though. That it's gonna pull back soon. But once it pulls back, you get in that.
I'm only looking for the fair value gap to be filled before you know what I'm saying, like, which is just a pullback for me on the AU. I think AU is going to continue down for a little while.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I was hoping I'd I'd get lucky and get that 4-hour engulf, but it pulled back a little bit. I was right there, like 14 minutes to go. I was engulfing. The close of the 4, it pulled right back in there. So I'm gonna
That's
just
what it does, that last little bit.
Throw that
last
O on that
50.
bad boy. Throw that O on that bad boy.
It probably looks amazing right now. That old probably looks money.
I mean, that last 15 minutes, it was like I almost had it.
I need that
So
shit to break down.
Yeah, so we still trapped in the I'm hoping for a breakdown, come back, retest, and let's continue on.
Sorry for the sell.
Yeah. I mean, it's smacking directly where I want it for a sale. It's already fighting off of the support.
Whichever confirmation you're comfortable with.
If you look at the
Yeah.
weekly too, if you look at the weekly, it gave you a railroad on the weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have fun with that sell. It's gonna be nice. I ain't got
Which is funny.
I ain't got my position in it, so
Which is funny, which means AUD has to go up for that, right? And
Yeah.
if AUD is going up, that means the dollar has to come down.
Yep. Would be nice.
Dollar has to come down. So whatever we're feeling right now, that means there's more supply in the streets, which is why gas has come down like $1 a gallon, right? Soak it up while you can, because it's a pullback.
Most
oh yeah,
definitely.
the gas. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of it. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, go fill up your red tanks, you know what I'm saying? The little red joints, you know.
Yeah.
Go stock up on whatever you can.
For
You know what I'm
like
saying?
$5
Go
again.
stock up on food, go stock up on toilet paper, you know what I mean? All that stuff.
Hey, look at GN real quick on a weekly. See this hammer that got thrown last week?
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's
That
gonna
is
be-
pretty. All right, word. So look, man, I think we've covered most of everything. Mike, I don't know if you wanted to go over in China before we head off of this thing. He might have stepped away.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Here, I'll just show this real quick.
Word. That's all we got.
I just want you guys to see this because JXY. So for anybody that watches this, pause it, grab this list because this is all the indexes, and this one is very important right now, guys. The VIX. We can go over that on a different call, but JXY. Look on the monthly. As long as JXY has been out here, it broke. It's over all-time low. So, and it still has room to come down to retest and fill this wick to come back up, which means, GBP is going to, GJ and stuff like that, they're going to end up coming up for a little bit.